Good evening and happy Lunar New Year or Chinese New Year, whatever you want to call it. I'm Adventure Argonaut. This is the Golden News. It's Tuesday News Day. I'm gonna give you the news that matter and all that. But first, let's just see the functionality of my stream. Whoop, whoop, whoop. See, okay. Yes, that's working, I think, as well. Kick, Twitch, Rumble, even Party, everything's working as it should. And drinking some whiskey, I bought a bottle of Cutty Sark. Blended Scotch whiskey. Never heard of it before. Had to try. It's quite tasteless, but not necessarily in a horrible way because, it's not the fanciest whiskey. So, it could taste bad, but it's still quite, I don't know, mild. Whatever. Let's get to the news. Um, so, here we have the first piece of news. Whoop. I can't even see what the orange says. It's Trump declassifies JFK files. Right. At least he signs the whatever executive order. So Trump declassifies JFK, RFK, MLK file, source says. And declassification of records of concerning the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So, by the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and blah yada yada. So yes, this happened like almost a week ago, but I haven't really seen any files yet on JFK or RFK. So I assume the reason is that it of course takes time for the bureaucracy for the archivists to get all the documents together and then release them to the public. Otherwise, you'd probably have heard some interesting revelations. However, I'm somewhat pessimistic on the matter. I don't expect anything truly ground shattering to come up from this because either there will probably be bits and pieces of the documents redacted, so then you of course don't know what it actually says, or maybe they will just happen to lose a few documents just accidentally that would be most incriminating against certain people or nations who that might have been involved in the assassinations and stuff. So yeah, this is big news. However, it's not really news yet because the thing hasn't happened, at least as far as I know. That the documents aren't out, so I have to wait for something. But this is. I remember being a teenager in the 90s and wondering about the JFK assassination and will it ever be released or anything. And now it's apparently it's happening, maybe. So that's something. So yeah, just have to, I don't know, be patient and hope that they will actually release the information. But let's move on to the next story then. So that's about the deportations are happening, but not that fast, not as fast as some people would like. Deportations in the US, as Trump promised. So here, Nicholas Fuentes says Trump week one deportations. Jan 21st is 308, Jan 22nd 460, and so on. So yeah, So I don't know the average. I'm gonna say it's around 500-600 per day, and because there's a couple of one day is 956 and one is 1,179, and total is 4,320. So it's okay. Here it says average 617 per day. I didn't see it, so hey, my math isn't that bad. Um, so, and it would be 220K per year, and people are saying not enough, that there's many more, illegals in America. Like, of course, it might be a slow start, and of course they might need, to get or muster all their forces together to find all these illegals and deport them and stuff. That's possible, but well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I guess so far the numbers are a bit disappointing, I guess. And there's this. I don't know if this is even real. Maybe it's just a meme. Breaking pop star and MAGA supporter Lana Del Rey commented on Selena Gomez's viral video. You should pack your bags and go back to Mexico. Take your abuela with you. So yeah, Selena Gomez, she was crying something about the deportations, I guess, and then supposedly Lana Del Rey, because I think she married some like MAGA guy, just some plumber or something. If that's true, and then she sort of, I guess, um, left her Hollywood ideologies behind, or whatever. If this is true, maybe it's just meme. I don't know. But it was just a funny thing I wanted to show. But let's go on to the next story. Not that much to say about this either yet. And then, well, Trump wants to abet in the Palestinian genocide. It's like aiding and abetting. I'm not sure if usage of the word abet here is technically the most correct one, but hey, I thought of using it because it's different. So yeah, here Justin Trump says he is pressing Jordan and Egypt to take in Palestinians from Gaza, floats plan to clean out territory. So I think one of the definitions of genocide is to displace an assload of people from their homeland to another place. So this would qualify, especially since many of these people, Palestinians are already dead because of in the past year and a half or so. And if the survivors, like, I guess it's better for the survivors to be sent somewhere else to and die, but still, this is like textbook genocide. I'm not trying to be edgy or anything like here, because I don't have to. And then Trump says a lot of things that were ordered and paid for by Israel but have not been sent by Biden are now underway. And yeah, this guy Dave DeCamp comments paid by Israel quotation marks and laughing emojis, because like things paid by Israel were paid with, well, yeah, I guess they were paid by Israel, but money they got from America or Germany or other countries, usually at least. So yeah, last week regarding Trump, it was more optimistic, but not this week. But hey, it's still 1 week. A lot can happen, both really good and really bad. And Trump signs executive order suspending U.S. military aid to Ukraine. Despite this, aid to Israel will continue. And yeah, he also ended aid. Like, at first it said that he ended foreign aid, but it was and then the exceptions were Israel, Jordan, and Egypt, I believe. I don't know what makes Egypt and Jordan so special, but of course, they have to keep sending money to Israel. Otherwise, I don't know, the sky will fall or something. But at least this is good if they stop sending military aid to Ukraine. And yeah, it's military aid, so maybe they will still keep sending money. I don't know. But yeah, so at least like, and yeah, at least it's probably good if he doesn't send as much, foreign aid stuff. And like, I saw news that Trump stopped sending like funds. What is it? Assistance money. There's the term for it that refuses to come to my mind because I haven't drank enough whiskey yet. But anyways, the why does India need the money? Like they have H-1B geniuses all over the country, and it's the next world superpower. Why do they need American handouts? Okay, then let's go to the next story already. So it's yeah. First, Israel the Daest. This the compulsory every week. I have to say Israel the Daest. Israel must be destroyed. And then Happy Holocaust. It's the Holocaust Remembrance Day or whatever, or whatever the official greeting is. I don't know if it's merry or boohoo, very sad Holocaust. But I just asked Grok a few questions. Like the first time I asked, I got an error. It said like, "Oh, you should reboot the app or something," and it didn't do anything. But then I tried again with my phone. At first, I tried with my computer, and it didn't. And then I managed to get some actual questions. So why is questioning the Holocaust illegal in many European countries? So it's illegal. Questioning or denying the Holocaust is illegal in several European countries due to a combination of historical, legal, and cultural reasons. Historical context. The Holocaust, the genocide of approximately 6 million Jews by the Nazi regime during World War II, was one of the darkest chapters in human history. Like the darkest in that doesn't, the argument doesn't like satisfy me. It's very airy fairy. Like I can see myself back in university, and back when the universities at least have some semblance of rationality, and like they wouldn't find this argument very convincing. Anyways, so many European countries have a direct historical connection to this event, either through participation in the war, occupation by Nazi forces, or as the locations where atrocities took place. It's like, okay, Europe is full of like countries that participated in wars or atrocities, either as the perpetrator or the receiver. Hey, Agent Devil Hurts, welcome, welcome. So, like, of course, this World War II is much more recent than the vast majority of these wars and atrocities in European history, but still, why aren't they like why isn't it illegal to question the 30-year war or whatever and things like that? So, anyways, yeah. So I don't know. Like I asked, why is questioning Holocaust illegal? But it's like Germany enacted laws like Stretchebrück Section 130 and Section 86. These laws specifically criminalize denial of minimization of the Holocaust, aiding to combat anti-Semitism, preserve the memory of the victims. Okay, so it doesn't really answer why. Like why single out this atrocity? Uh, Many of these countries have broad laws against hate speech where Holocaust denial is seen as a form of anti-Semitism or hate speech that incites racial or religious hatred. Yeah, this is interesting because, like, despite certainly Jews have been persecuted in a one way or another throughout the centuries, but it's like they have persisted to the current day. But like many, but pretty much all the indigenous European religions have been eradicated by Christianity and modernity and all that stuff. Like, shouldn't, by this logic, if you say something bad about Odin or something, or Cernunnos, the Celtic dear god, like, shouldn't that be like inciting religious hatred because they're even like a more victimized minority, right? It's just, I want these things to be consistent. Like, if I was a D&D character, I would be lawful. I'm not sure if I'm lawful neutral or lawful evil or whatever, but I just want it to be consistent. Education and remembrance. These laws also serve an educational purpose, reinforcing the importance of historical truth in public discourse. But historical truth, so you get to historical truth by like stymieing free debate. Is that how it works? It doesn't ring like it's a bit weird. I don't really understand. That's why I asked AI, because it's bound to be smarter than me. International influence. Well, these sounds like some of these laws are influenced by international resolutions and conventions. For instance, the European Union has made efforts to combat racism and xenophobia, which directly supports such national laws. I think another nation in the Middle East has influenced this as well. Okay, let's go to the next question. So, which countries criminalize questioning it? So, here's a list of some countries, okay, where questioning or denying the Holocaust is explicitly criminalized: Austria, Belgium, Czech Republic, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Israel, Liechtenstein, Lithuania, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. Why Switzerland? Because Switzerland didn't take part in the wars, right? Like, I know some people escaped to Switzerland during the wars and like world wars because they're supposed to be neutral. Well, they do have their, mountains and money, so maybe it draws certain kinds of people there. So, yeah. So anyway, so they are many European countries, but like Finland is still legal, at least so far. That's good. Anyways, is questioning any other historical events criminalized in these countries? Yes, some of the countries that criminalize Holocaust denial also have laws or have had historical precedents concerning the criminalization or restriction of questioning other historical events, although these are less uniform and often more specific to national context. So, Switzerland, denying the Armenian genocide can be punishable, although this has been challenged on free speech grounds. Well, yeah, I should be. Like, I think, everything should be challenged on free speech grounds. And Turkey, yeah, well, not in Europe. Oh, so they're not. They're saying Turkey is not in Europe. So yeah, it's interesting. Didn't Turkey commit the Armenian genocide? But it's like questioning the official narrative. So maybe it's the official narrative in Turkey is probably we didn't do nothing. Okay, communism and Soviet crimes. So Czech Republic. Hey, they say I like Grok. It says Czech Republic, not Czechia, because suddenly it's like some freaking Mandela effect that suddenly Czech Republic had become Czechia, according to some people. Anyways, so Czech, Hungary, Poland, Lithuania. So they have laws that condemn or criminalize the denial of communist era crimes. Okay, I guess that makes sense. Although um, still would be, nice to be able to question them as well. Crimes of the Nazi and Soviet regimes in Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. There have been legal and political efforts to equate the crimes of the Nazi and Soviet regimes, sometimes leading to laws that criminalize denial or minimization of Soviet crimes during World War II. So, so France has some stuff. Russia, yeah. But it's like, okay, there's some laws banning the questioning of other historical events, but clearly Holocaust is the number one banned topic here. My mouse wheel is a bit fucky. I should buy a new mouse at some point. So when I scroll, sometimes I try to scroll down and sometimes it goes up and vice versa. Anyways, is questioning the Holodomor illegal anywhere? In the questioning the Holodomor is explicitly illegal in Ukraine. So yeah, because the Holodomor in 1932, 1933. So when the bunch of Ukrainians were killed by Soviets, many of the head Soviets being of a particular ethnicity that bears no significance probably to their why they would murder millions of Christians, of course. But yeah, okay, it makes sense that of course in Ukraine it's illegal to question it. Like I would still prefer it would be legal, but it's understandable, certainly. And there's something okay, in Germany, illegal under German hate speech laws, blah blah blah. Yeah, and then how many? Did I ask about the? Okay, I guess I didn't ask about Armenian children. So, how many Holocaust museums and memorials are there around the world? Um, so there are over 60 countries that have them, and there are hundreds of Holocaust-related sites worldwide. So, does it mean 200, 500, 700, 900? I don't know. So yeah, in the United States, it's like over 20 institution. In Europe, there's blah 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 something doesn't say clearly. Well over 200 Holocaust memorials and museums worldwide, considering both major institutions and smaller local commemorations. Okay. So how many Armenian genocide museums and memorials are there around the world? So this is I was surprised. There are Armenian National Institute has identified 135 memorials in 25 countries dedicated to the memory of the victims of Armenian genocide. I was surprised. I didn't expect the numbers to be this high because you don't hear about that so often. Um, but still, I think the prevalence of this Armenian genocide is, it still pales in comparison to, let's say popularity to the Holocaust. And how about Holodomor memorials? So there's now, yeah, in Ukraine there's numerous Holodomor memorials. That makes sense, of course. Then there's some Canada, a few United States, couple. Australia, there's a mention of a memorial in Ukrainian Orthodox Center in Canberra. What does it mean, mention? Somebody mentioned it once during Mass or something. And there's Germany, Poland, Russia, okay? So, yeah, anyways, conservative estimate based on information would suggest there are at least 30 to 50 distinct Holodomor memorials and monuments around the world. Okay. So it's okay. But then, is it true? I asked this. Is it true that the game Fortnite has a Holocaust memorial? And yes, it's true that Fortnite has featured a virtual Holocaust memorial. The memorial titled Voices Forgotten was created. It's not forgotten. Like, you can't, you know, turn around in the Western world without hearing about the Holocaust and the victims. Like, come on, man. At least, you know, title it appropriate, like voices that everybody has heard many times. So yeah, it's game blah blah blah. So purpose, the aim was to educate Fortnite's fast player base and blah blah blah. And how many movies are there approximately that deal with the subject of the Holocaust? There are approximately 184 movies that directly deal with the subject of the Holocaust. So um, it's just the Holocaust, and of course, like I don't think this counts like the Indiana Jones movies where you fight against Nazis. That's directly not related, but tangentially related and stuff. And how about movies on Armenian genocide and Holodomor? So Armenian genocide, there are one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight, okay, it's okay, and a few documentaries as well. I don't, I don't know if any of them is like a blockbuster Hollywood movie or anything. Probably not. So yeah, there's 15 to 20 movies. Not bad, not bad. Then Holodomor, Bitter Harvest, couple of documentaries. Holodomor is 2 to 5 known films and documentaries. So how many died in the Armenian genocide and Holodomor? So Armenian genocide is just 600 to 1.5 million. So that's, at least it certainly pales in the numbers compared to the Holocaust. And Holodomor is from 3.5 to 7 million deaths. Some sources mention figures as high as 10 million or even 14 million, although these are less commonly cited in academic contexts. Um, Please note that these numbers are estimates and exact figures are challenging to ascertain due to the scale of the events, the suppression of information by the authorities at the time, and the destruction of records. But the Nazis destroyed records too, but they were clearly, the Germans weren't as efficient as they say, because they weren't so good at destroying the records, because we know the number is 6 million, remember that. But the Soviets were much better at doing it, so we can know for sure on the numbers. So there is no uncertainty about that. Okay, that's that. So what I'm getting to here is that it's obvious there is a political agenda that benefits certain groups and a certain Middle Eastern country that promoting the Holocaust. And of course, I am certainly not denying that many people suffered during that time in Europe, in that era or anything like that. I'm just saying that you know how it's used nowadays, um, in as a political device, and also like as an excuse. It's used as an excuse for the stuff that Israel is doing nowadays in Palestine, which is why Israel del and Daest, one reason why I have to say it in each of my news streams, because it's because a human history is full of wars and atrocities and genocides and all of that stuff, and certainly all of them are terrible. But it is curious why one is singled out in this way, and others are, well, in the past decade or two, other genocides have become more popular in that sense, like Native Americans and stuff like that. Because I recall thinking about that in the 90s. It was a bit more fringe back then, but now with the wokeness and stuff, it's more popular to demonize, especially white people, based on bad stuff they did. And certainly, there are many bad things in history of, well, all peoples, and but this it tends to be very selective, and especially like Holocaust is used as a way to guilt trip. Like even I've seen it, like it's used in America to guilt trip white Americans about the Holocaust, but like the Americans saved the Jews from the camps, from the German camps, right? Like, and the Soviets, like they gave their lives to save the Jews from the German camps, and yet I don't see much gratefulness. Like, shouldn't America be full of, and Germany too, like memorials to the brave soldiers of U.S. and Russia and U.K., Britain, and whatever that saved them, but no, or especially Israel. That country should be celebrating America and Russia or Soviet Union like every day, because if if what the Nazis wanted to do, if they couldn't had gotten away with what they want to do, surely there would be no Jew left, right? Right? I don't know. Let's just move on. But yeah, so happy Memorial Holocaust Day, whatever. So, woman fakes hate crime. Okay, let's get back to the news. So we go to France. Completely unrelated to this topic, of course. Meet Nancy, French anti Semitism victim who was living in fear of swastikas and slurs outside her door until she was caught spray painting the graffiti and sending threats to herself. Now she faces over 30,000 euros in fines and possibly prison time. So yeah, there's naughty symbols there. So yeah, this woman. It doesn't say her ethnicity, but I can guess what's her how her last name ends.
Jusqu'aux menaces de mort.
Yeah, I don't know, just very unrelated to anything my previous news. But let's move on. This was a short story, and then more. Once like this week in UK tyranny, and I don't really know what's going on with this picture, but AI created it, so I had to show it to you. You have to suffer for my mistakes. Um, So what was this? Britain facing new terror threat from generation of young men in their bedrooms. Starmer warns. It sounds like didn't they have something like this in America, like decade or a half ago? PM laid groundwork for an overhaul of terrorism laws to capture the new threat of loners and misfits driven to acts of extreme violence by all manner of material online. So basically, young men who have little reason to support the society, or the society does little to allow them to live like normal people, and then they are singled out as a threat, whereas if Asian, quote unquote, as they say in England, struggle snuggles a teenage girl or something, and then you criticize, and then the Asian man gets like 2 weeks in jail or something, and then somebody criticizes the judge or the criminal, then they have to go to jail for 2 years. That's how it works. um so yeah, it's just you know Brits, what are you doing? Why is Starmer still your prime minister? Like, why haven't you, like, in Finland, like 100 years ago, whenever there used to be the concept of muilutus, like the yeah, it was around like when Soviet Union was a new thing, and the right wingers, they would like sort of abduct somebody who they consider to be a lefty, and take him over the border to Russia or something. So, like, why don't they do something like that to Starmer? Of course, there's no borders on the island, so whoops, hope he can swim. Just a historical reference, like, maybe you can share different kinds of methods. I don't know. Let's move on. Not much to say about this story anymore. And then Martin Luther King, there's some revelations, like the Trump declassified also stuff relating to his death, his assassination. And I think this stuff has probably been out before. I've heard certainly this sort of stories before, but I don't know, like, to what extent are they confirmed. But like, isn't Martin Luther King basically considered a saint in America? And if you say something bad about him, you're a heretic and racist, of course. But anyways, Holy crap, Martin Luther King Jr., serial adulterer having affairs with multiple women, participated in gay orgies, drug addict and cocaine abuser, paid prostitutes for sex, drunkard, alcoholic. Why the hell does the United States have a national holiday in honor of him? Yeah. Well, of course, this is like, most of the presidents, similar behavior, right? Well, at least Martin Luther King, he didn't do this with children, I presume. Read somewhere that he supposedly also got his mistress pregnant or a prostitute or something. Yeah, yeah. So and I don't want to read all this. I am slightly sloshed because of the whiskey already. It's just like, yeah, well, maybe they should reconsider like who they make their symbols of moral righteousness, and maybe he's not worth it. Maybe Malcolm X was has had something better to say than Martin Luther King. Maybe. Okay. Next story is RFK Jr. Or maybe RFK has come back from the grave to remove vaccine manufacturer protections. So, breaking RFK Jr. plans to remove the immunity protections of vaccine manufacturers and hold them accountable for harmful vaccines. So, if this is true, this is great news. Like I think it was Reagan who signed basically a carte blanche for the vaccine manufacturers back in the day, and since then they've been able to play Frankenstein or whatever and experiment with people with any recourse or protections, or so yeah, I do hope that RFK actually gets to do this stuff and he's not just full of hot air. And Biden became a Freemason just before his term as president ended. Like, what surprises me that he wasn't one already. Apparently not. But yeah, here is former President Biden has been granted membership of the PHA Freemasons. Was that Philadelphia Homo Anal Freemasons? I don't know. Most worshipful Union Grand Law for Florida F and AM. Blah, blah, blah. Welcome former President Joe Biden to the Prince Hall Masonic family. So I don't know. I just think this is weird. Like because of course there are all these so-called conspiracy theories saying about Freemasons really running the world behind the scenes, and I don't know if it's true nowadays. Like I do think that I've seen like I saw some pretty big Freemason lodge or something in London once, and that implies at least some Freemasons have money, and money is power. So I guess they probably still have some power, but I don't know. But certainly they did have power a few centuries ago, like both the American Revolution and the French Revolution had Masonic influence behind it. Like George Washington was a Mason. I think Benjamin Franklin. I don't know if other of the founding fathers, but hey, the first president of the United States was a Mason. And of course, French liberté, égalité, fraternité. That's a Masonic ideology. And I'm not saying that Masons conspire necessarily to do anything this or that, but I'm just saying they influenced. The ideology influenced these political revolutions, certainly. So back in the day it was certainly influential. I don't know how influential it is nowadays, like masonry, but because I recall seeing some articles some years ago saying that most of the Masons nowadays are old men, and they're struggling to um, recruit young people into their weird, creepy cults. Like, I don't know, it's like some discount David Lynch stuff. R.I.P. David Lynch, anyways. But since they, whatever, granted membership to Biden, that would certainly corroborate the argument that they are full of old men, and that the lodges are dying and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird, like, and they make it publicly, like they want people to know. Is it like trying to show that, see, Biden is a Mason, so Trump is not a Mason, and he hates the Masons because, well, who know? Do you know who hated Masons? Hitler. I think he banned Masons. But yeah, let's go on to the next story. Visa and Mastercard are involved in shady stuff. Yeah, I do like this image though, but let's get to the story. So here, Chibi Review says, very damning information came out of Visa and MasterCard today. Do you know how they've been forcing Japan to censor themselves over drawings? Like, yeah, this is where, like, I think it was Visa who was, like, they sort of admitted they were bullying, like, the manga people to not make lewd manga or something like that, which was weird because payment processor shouldn't be like as long as it's legal, and it's legal according to Japanese law, so they should have no problems with it. And I think it would also be legal according to American law. But anyways, well, a whistleblower revealed that they've been receiving reports since 2019 on CSEM and OnlyFans, and they did nothing about it. So in July, the news organization reported that hundreds of sexually explicit videos and images of minors, some as young as toddlers, have appeared on the site since 2019, according to allegations in police complaints. In December, a child exploitation investigator told Reuters that he reported 26 OnlyFans accounts to authorities that appeared to contain sexual content featuring underage teen girls. The accounts were quickly taken down, said the investigator. Another story focused on women who said they had been sexually enslaved, sometimes by a fiancé or boyfriend, to make money on the platform. And here's a story about it too. MasterCard and Visa accused of enabling payments for child sexual abuse, contempt report claims. A whistleblower complaint filed with the U.S. Treasury Department Financial Crimes Enforcement Unit, or FinCEN. It's like, I don't know, Finland Center. Anyways, alleges that MasterCard and Visa failed to stop their payment networks from laundering funds from child sexual abuse material and sex trafficking on OnlyFans, according to Reuters. Yeah, like, as I saw somebody else comment online saying that, they basically, Mastercard and Visa only cared about this stuff when they, news, like, journalists started talking about this stuff. Like, before that, they were happy to allow all this stuff. Sort of reminds me of Twitter before, Elon Musk took over. There were all sorts of CP stuff there as well, supposedly. So the complaint, which Reuters reports was filed by a senior financial compliance expert, claims that the payment giants were aware that their networks were used to pay for illegal content on OnlyFans, a social media uh, platform where fans pay to follow individuals to post photos and videos of themselves. The whistleblower accused the companies of turning a blind eye to flows of illicit revenue, according to Reuters. Like, of course, like, in my opinion, like, of course, like, in my opinion, that's any, like, major companies and stuff, like I think they gain, like, some points from, like, Satan or something. If they, like, it's not enough to make money. But if they make money by evil methods, they get like, naughty karma points, and they, that contribute to the victory conditions of the game or something like that. That's just my impression of the matter. But it's like, yeah, why does, Visa and Mastercard, why do they have this power, like, basically cartel over payment processing, and like, maybe sometimes it's behooves governments to, step in and do something about this, like, because I don't know, these just seem like criminal organizations, like, of course they, like, majority of their business is probably legit, but this is criminal, like, maybe they didn't know they were doing criminal stuff, but they were doing criminal stuff according to this story. So, and I suspect it wasn't completely accidental. But let's move on to the next story. So this is just a weird thing. I don't know, like, there's some, like, on Google Maps somewhere. I think, is this somewhere in California? But anyway, so yeah, Federal LAPD Trafico, help, 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 help. Like, I think it's Google Maps. There's the coordinates. I haven't actually checked it myself. So is it like, the means that LAPD and the Federales, like FBI, are trafficking? Is it trafficking people or drugs? I guess people, because somebody wrote this stuff here. Even my wife got interested in it. She turned around and had a look. Yeah, I think this is from Google Maps or something. So, and I don't know if this was posted a few days ago. So I don't know if, like, there's some news updates on it. What is this, like? Is it terrorismo dos? Yeah, terrorismo dos FBI. So I guess it's FBI does terrorism. Help. Yeah, it's like Google Maps Street View, photos from the bridge. This is all in plain view of the public. Uh, yeah, so yeah, here it says help. So I don't know, is it just people who are bored doing this stuff, wanting some attention, or is it something else? So there's a video. Because, well, here you don't see any people. They're like, obviously there have to have been people there if there are those messages on the ground, whether they are truly, asking for help, or is it just some weird hoax or something. So I don't know, like, of course, yeah, maybe the perpetrators noticed what the, assuming, because it seems to suggest that there are some sort of captives being kept there, and so maybe they, noticed, oops, what have the guys been doing, and then took them somewhere else, and they didn't have time to get rid of these texts and anything. So yeah, it's weird stuff. But yeah, like, when I first saw it, my impression was it's probably human trafficking. There was a dog there, I think. Oh yeah, that's help. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, but mm, so this is where the place is. So Santa Monica, Anaheim. So this is California, right? Anaheim is in California, and Santa Monica probably too. Okay. Yeah, that's right by the Palisades fires at a container yard. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know, like, but like, surely by now the authorities have investigated it and cleaned any evidence of criminal activity, if there was any other criminal activity except maybe breaking and entering and writing random messages. Um, yeah, let's move on to the next story. So Destiny is Epstein light. So the everybody's favorite streamer and leftist Destiny. So a police report has been filed against Destiny by a fellow streamer who claims he shared intimate recording of her without consent. And there's like, I don't know, claims. I don't know like the veracity or the actual nature of it, but like implications that he's been up to all sorts of naughty stuff. Like it's already known that he's into all sorts of perverse stuff, but I guess it's like maybe he's into also some sort of illegal stuff. Uh, but yeah, here's Grams is pointing out if Destiny is claiming he knows, maybe I should get this comment first. So yeah, Destiny says, "Bro, if I need to go on sex offender list, I'm taking like 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol. 20, who are they?" So yeah, if Destiny is claiming he knows of 20 streamers who are sexual offenders, why isn't he reporting them to the police or at the very least Twitch for investigation? Yeah, because it does sound like, unless Destiny, well, assuming this is a real quote from Destiny and he actually knows about 20 other offenders, it really sounds like some Epstein situation that blackmail networks and stuff. And I did hear some other allegations of Destiny that a lot of the people orbiting around him, they sort of knew about the stuff he was doing and stuff, but nobody really dared to say anything because of, I don't know, if it's more about fear or just loyalty to some leftist ideology or something. I'm not quite sure, but well, this I hope there's gonna be more revelations on this story. But just to make oops, I closed the tab accidentally. Well, just to make sure, Destiny is an absolute scumbag, but that should be obvious. Like, he's a creepoid, and yeah, the thing I wanted to say is like, if he's had intimate relations with some young women around him, it's like, I just wonder how, because he's short, he's weak, he's ugly. Like, what do women see in him? It's like, okay, I guess he has some money and he's very I guess you can call it he has chutzpah or something. Isn't that what you call it? Like, he's the kind of guy who would try to sell sand to an Arab and maybe even succeed, every now and then. But it's still like, come on, isn't he like a disgusting troll creature? So I think Destiny's crimes, they speak well towards the concept of the patriarchy that has to control people, that they don't go overboard with their stupidity and degeneracy. The next story is the Chinese AI, was it deep DeepSeek. So US stock market loses 1 trillion in a single day after launch of Chinese AI platform DeepSeek. So I don't know if this is cause and effect or if US stock market lost 1 trillion for some other reason, but hey, it's good if it's true. Like, competition and all that, isn't that good, right? And here somebody says DeepSeek reportedly collects IP keystroke patterns, device info, and stores it in China per TC. Well, first is reportedly. It's like anybody can reportedly claim anything. Like, I farted and a piece of the moon was blown off, reportedly. But of course, it wouldn't be a stretch for a Chinese program or whatever to do something like that. But here the community note points out everything you connect to online is able to see this data. IP addresses are transferred as part of the Internet Protocol. The device info is available within a user agent header, and this data has been used to fingerprint users across the Internet for decades. So yeah, it's like, probably the DeepSeek does do something, invasive, but so do most thingies. But it's funny, like only when China does it, then people seem to care. But not when America or Israel or EU or whatever does it. And Andrew Torba, the CEO of Gab, he is like, I guess he's hijacking or something, like using DeepSeek on Gab. So and it's hosted in America, so it should be. He's trying to make it uncensored and stuff. So I guess it's still a work in progress. I haven't tried it or anything, but sounds good. He made another post. I didn't save it or anything or bookmark it, but saying that the image generation sucks so far, which I'm still more interested in AI image generation than the text generation stuff, though. And Axios website, DeepSeek could be an extinction level event for some venture capital firms. Well, that sounds like a good thing, because like supposedly, DeepSeek is really cheap, or had been really cheap to produce compared to all the American AI stuff. Like, was it 5 million and the others are 500 million or whatever the numbers were? And if it's basically the same as ChatGPT or something, then it's good, right? But like plenty of people have pointed out, so I should mention it, that Europe, no European country so far has any AI because of the parasite known as EU, of course, because it's racist and sexist to do something new, to boldly go where no man has gone before. But anyways, of course, this Chinese software is always a bit sus, but so is any other software. But hey, I do intend to keep following where Gab AI ends up with playing with DeepSeek and stuff. But let's move on to the next story. Tesla Reich begins. So in Germany, projection of Tesla's Berlin Gigafactory depicts Elon Musk throwing a Roman salute with the text "Heil Tesla." So this is supposed to be like criticizing Elon Musk, but it makes him look cool. Like, this looks cool, right? I don't know, but I think because earlier Elon Musk was saying something that Germans shouldn't be afraid, like ashamed of their heritage. They shouldn't be ashamed to be German. I completely agree with that. Whatever happened 80 years ago, what their grandfathers might have done is, they should focus on what the people that their grandfathers saved or failed to extinguish are doing now. So yeah, why led by LED by donkeys targeted Elon Musk with Heil Tesla in Berlin. So yeah, it's provocative projection of Tesla's Berlin Gigafactory depicted Elon Musk performing a Nazi-style salute, accompanied by the next Heil Tesla in Tesla's iconic font. This striking act was orchestrated by the British activist art collective led by donkeys. Ah, okay, it's not LED, LED, okay, and whatever. Known for the sharp political art and Centrum für politische Schönheit. I, come on. Are they really trying to make Elon Musk cool? Like, my personal opinion is it changes almost every week. Like sometimes he's he's quite based, and sometimes like okay he's cringe and he's controlled opposition or whatever. But I don't know. It's like just last week I talked about his Roman salute, and you shouldn't be ashamed of Roman salute. Is a part of European history, regardless of what you think about the mustache man. He wasn't Roman. And then to gaming news. Only a couple of games to discuss. The two obvious ones. And first is Ass Creed, watermelon and chicken or whatever it's called. First, as people think the female sumo in Assassin's Creed Shadows is a joke. So is she a sumo wrestler actually? But it's real. They added a female sumo who kicks and pulverizes Japanese judge. Whereas is the Azuchi Momoyama period, Rikishi meant a man of strength. With such a rich history, they chose this to mock Japan. Yeah, Rikishi means like sumo wrestler, like a euphemism or something like that. Agent Doublehead says, and usually the Zentrum have no idea what they are talking about. So who are the Zentrum? Is it some political group or what? Um, yeah. So this, just look at this character. Like I've only played the first Assassin's Creed game and only a little bit of it, but I've gotten the impression that they tried to be, somewhat, historically believable and simply, have a sense of realism. But this is like it doesn't seem to fit any kind of historical game. This character, except as a brief joke maybe. And then there's this YouTuber and content creator. Why do you have to say content? It's just YouTuber, Shohei Kondo. Like, fucking hate this content creator. So if I fart, that's content and I create it. So, fuck. Okay, YouTuber Shohei Kondo gets his Assassin's Creed Shadows videos removed for hate speech from YouTube. So, clearly, they're trying to suppress voices that speak common sense. And here's higher quality picture of the new Assassin's Creed Shadows, female characters from one of the most starvation-ridden eras of Japan called Yaya. Do you like it? I don't know. And then this is just like brilliant. Like they almost have to think they are shit posting or something. So there's watermelons and cherry blossoms. So FYI, watermelons are never seen in the same season as cherry blossoms. Summer versus spring didn't reach Japan until Edo period, long after the Sengoku period. But Ubisoft had to include watermelons for the legendary Forgotten Black Samurai. Ha ha ha! Remarkable. Yeah, like my first thought was where's the chicken? Where's the fried chicken? Like, come on, like you have black guy in Japan, you have to have watermelons. And it's like, personally, as a writer and a storyteller, I haven't published any books or anything, but I'm trying to. But anyway, it's like, this is the kind of stuff you're supposed to think about, especially you write historical stuff like watermelons. They're not native to Japan, right? Like, did they have watermelons at this time? But it's like these fucking hacks. They don't even care. They just like black guy watermelons. It's like spores emanating from black people or something. So it's a lefty Zentrum. It's a lefty organization that gets pushed by the mainstream. Not sure where they get their funding. Well, I would guess Soros or something similar. But yeah. So this is like I'm sort of starting to like this game, Assassin's Creed game, because it's such a joke. So they see Nazis where I don't think there are any. Okay. But hey, Journals say that Assassin's Creed Shadows has excellent bamboo slicing tech. And this is actually like I wouldn't say necessarily excellent, but it does seem fun. It's not the first game where you can slice bamboo. But hey, this is like the first genuinely interesting thing I've seen about the game. Like yeah, sure. I when I see this footage, I feel like yeah, sure. I'd like to spend 10 minutes with the game. And here, Shadows Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay Twitch stream shows a buggy, bland game that put no fears to rest. So yeah, so some article saying yeah, it's a buggy game. Yeah, there was like they tried to pet a dog or something and it bugged out. And Ubisoft announces studio closure as it lays down 185 staff. So yeah, the studio that worked on Star Wars Outlaws Skull and Bones. So yes, oh my God, is Ubisoft gonna go bankrupt? How can we survive? Oh no, horrible. Okay, the last story of the week of the day is Kingdom Come to the controversy over the gay knights. So the gamer Jade King Kingdom Come Deliverance is just medieval Brokeback Mountain. Like, of course, this is just some journalist basically clickbaiting. So you can't really use it against the game itself. But if you don't know, there's some gay scene or something, and you can choose your character to be gay, even though in the first Kingdom Come game he was 100% straight. But now you have the option to be gay, which is sus. And here's Favra, I think he's the lead developer, at least somebody involved with the game. We are not never ever banned in any country, at least not that we know of, because there were rumors that they're banned in Saudi Arabia because of the gay stuff. And now Kingdom Come to Deliverance has been removed from the Saudi Arabia PlayStation Door. Pre-orders are being refunded with no explanation being given by Warhorse Studio. So yeah, it's clearly, if this story is true, that the homosexual scenes got them banned in Saudi Arabia. As well, wait, this is wrong story. Okay, it's been tricky. Okay, let's go back to Assassin's Creed for a little while because of my fuck up. So it's very tricky adapting feudal Japan into video game form. We want to avoid telling culture about their own culture. So yeah, because that's brilliant, because there was like before there was some stories that some of the architecture they were using in the game was actually Chinese architecture, not Japanese. So they are not telling them about their own culture. They're telling them about stuff that's not Japanese, like Chinese architecture, and watermelons and a black guy. So they're basically like bringing everything to Japan that's not Japanese. So I don't know how they're gonna have lenkkimakkara next. You have to be Finnish to know what that means. Anyways, Kingdom Come 2 Deliverance is no longer Steam's top 10 global bestsellers lists, because it used to be. That's what happens when a studio disguised as based, disrespected gamers by hiding replies, has an unhinged director who attacks gamers, features LGBT blah 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 propaganda. Yeah, exactly, because it's propaganda. What's this? We'll get some Japanese experts into the team. Why not? No money? I think there aren't enough Japanese transgender something, or that's why they don't qualify. They're too heteronormative or something. Or, they just don't speak English. I don't know. And here is Wikipedia article about the Vavra guy. Somebody noted this, that Daniel Vavra was born in Richov nad Jejno, Gnezojo, Gnetzo, Gnetno. That's my best guess. And before moving to Prague, he has partial Jewish ancestry. It's like, hey, I'm just reporting the news here. Like, why does he like? I'm trying to oppose anti-Semitic tropes, but like, he's being a subversive asshole, and then this. Like, come on, stop, like perpetuating anti-Semitic tropes, please, Favre. And so yeah, here he says eight best-selling game. This is a bit early, I guess. Eight best-selling game on Steam right now, and you should be ashamed of yourself for adding the gay romance to Henry. And here he is like, boo-hoo, astronaut. So he's mocking his audience. Like, this is not a good move. Like, like, yeah, sure, you can disagree with the people who don't want this gay romance in the game, but at least you should be respectful. It's like you could either ignore the comment or say like it's unfortunate that you view it that way, but I hope you will still enjoy the game, and or you can say that it's optional or something like that, but it's just like, fuck you, asshole. It's like, it's not smart alienating your customers. At least usually it's not smart. And then there's this. Yeah, even Grumps is, you know what, that's it, I'm out. So somebody asked on the, I think, is the Steam forums, why is Henry forced to be heterosexual in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1? And the developer says budget constraints. I don't know who is Fusselpulli, if it's Vavra or somebody else. But so yeah, supposedly they wanted to make him gay, or at least they're memeing like they already wanted to make him gay in the first game. So Henry was always meant to be queer. They just didn't have the money for it back then. Can you stop complaining now? Yeah, pirating it and modding. That sounds like a good idea. I still haven't played the first one. I guess I should play it at some point. But hey, I'm not gonna. If I play it, I'm gonna stream it, and it seems like a bad idea because this game is gonna come out in a few weeks, I guess. Like the Kingdom Come 2. So of course nobody wants to watch Kingdom Come 1 anytime soon when the sequel is out. But hey, this was the last story of the day, of the week, and everything. So yeah, I don't know. Should I summarize something? I guess go back to the first story, which was the JFK files. Well, the AI art for it was shit though. I was in a hurry, so I didn't have too much time to get the ideal art. But like, yeah. So yeah, I certainly will wait. Hope to see something concrete with the JFK stuff or RFK and that. Like, I hope that we really find out who killed him, who killed them, and all that stuff. And I don't know. My voice seems to be going, so that's cue. I should be ending the stream. So and I'm Adventure Argonaut. Thank you for watching and happy Holocaust. Bye bye.